Hi, sweet people. The rest of you, too. How are you? How's the YouTube world today? I'm doing okay, not too bad. I've been thinking about how, when I was a little kid, my first instincts of a career was to be going the medical field and become a healer for people. Eh, I'm no longer worried about healing people. They can heal themselves like I always have now. I'm looking for the warriors in life, not the broken. And that word broken, um, yeah, I've had a broken heart, but it didn't stay that way entirely. I mean, there's a spot there that's hard to repair. There's no doubt about that. But I want to talk to the people in the world that refuse to be broken. I mean, through the depths of hell, through the dark nights of the soul, through every dirty thing that people could throw at us and more, just heap this stuff on top of us, but you still refuse to become bitter. I mean, angry? Oh, hell yeah, all day. But bitter? Not even close. So those are the people that I want to connect with, not the poor baby, poor me type of individuals, but the type of people that, even though you have fierce pains, that you would like to take it out on the conductor of that. But the rest of the world, you're not worried about hurting anybody. You're doing anything bad to anybody unless you have to. If you're forced in a corner, don't back down. I don't. That's the way this is going now. It used to be, I want to take care of you, I want to nurture you, I want to explain the psychology and your heartfelt emotions and help you through them rough times. Nope, no more. It's a whole new me. Um, I'm gonna pull up something I had written about 14 years ago. Um, when all was said and done with my adopted parents. Some of you know, like, my adopted dad tried to help me, but the witchcraft within the Eastern Star was pretty powerful. He tried to get out of the lodge when I was 15. That's the year that his friend and him, a Jesuit, and my dad, 33, Master Mason, Shriner's Rites, uh, Grand Master Mason 3 times over, and Jesuit and some other degrees, like things that a person would know. Well, anyway, he tried to um, get out of the organization. He just wanted to pay his dues and be left alone. He thought if he just paid his dues, but um, these people would even call the house and demand to speak with him, and I'd tell him he wasn't there, which wasn't a lie really, because he'd be outside or something. But it'll take me a while to pull this up, so I'll just keep talking to you when I get there. Wasn't really the um. Well, anyway, I'll get there. I wasn't really super healthy when I wrote all this. I was starting to really just get sick. I had all kinds of allergies that were out of control. I had well, I still have chronic sinusitis, and they had gone in, did an operation, did a deviated septum, fixed that so I could breathe, and so I would, and some other things at that time. So anyway, I think My words weren't really mumbled or jumbled or anything like that, but I wasn't really um, communicating top shelf. Anyway, I'll get there. The point is, the only one that really, I remember him coming home and throwing my baby bottle. I must have been about 3 or 4, and she was too lazy to actually feed me. So she'd put what they called pablum in a bottle. And it sat there in my crib till he get home like 5 o'clock at night. I remember him grabbing that and throwing it across the room and then yelling at her. And after that, whenever he was around, he always fed me. Always, always took care of me like that when nobody else did. And she became a cook for our state and our school system, same school system I worked for. But yeah, kind of ironic, right? Point being that he tried to get out of that situation he was in, and um, actually, actually, we had people like around like Men in Black, for real, looking for him when I, okay, let's see if I can find this. What was there? Hmm, don't tell me it's gone now. Wait, it's really not there anymore. I just read it this morning. Hmm, that's crazy. Well, yeah, I was explaining what it was like when he tried to. Oh, wait, maybe. Okay, here it is. I wrote it on in 2018, this date. Okay, the reason I had to help others when I was 15, a very bad time in my life. My dad tried to leave the Masonic Lodge. He tried to just pay his dues and be left alone, but they would never leave him alone. I had to go on my own then because of extenuating circumstances not known to my parents at that time. All I ever did was trying to keep them safe. My mom, still alive, is as cold as can be. She is still a Eastern Star member and has what has me concerned for her soul. I decided to let the world know what I had found out. I'm going to stop here for a moment. I'm no longer concerned about her soul. She's none of these people. I'm at the point, it's not that I don't care, but I kind of don't. I'm just not going to me, um, God's going to take care of everybody, so I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. They'll be okay. Whatever they want to do with their selves, that's up to them. So, and then I wrote, I used to cry a lot thinking my father's soul had gone to hell. Just the thought was unbearable. Now I realize that even though he got into something far bigger than the average person could fight against, um, keeping his memory and believing God will have all my loved ones for me when I pass. He just kept me on an even keel. Um, sometimes, I mean, he was used. He was extremely used by the Eastern Star Witches. I could see it when it would happen. I even heard some of their rituals and some of their um their initiation rites and rituals were bizarre in the Masonic Lodge, the Eastern Star, and Shriners, Knights of Columbus, and more. They're all very weird. You've heard some of things, but not like I saw. It's a little different. But anyway, then I wrote, at times I'm angry when he wasn't together at heart to battle them like I do. But then I moved on a lot and didn't have anything to keep me down and didn't let anything keep me down, I think is what I meant to write. I believe my mom, the daughter of a master plumber who I adored, her father, my adopted grandfather, was also somebody that took care of me when others didn't. Okay, um, she kind of looked down on him because he did plumbing, if you get my drift. So anyway, so I wrote the one that I adored was and my mother wanting a higher standing in society. At what price? I watched as my happy-go-lucky dad got bent into a person I didn't recognize. He died a sad man. At the end, he lost his eyesight, he lost his daughter, and his grandsons, who made his world whole. And the happy he was faded. Give me a moment. You're gonna get the gist of why I battle so hard here, even if I can't reach people. I'm battling for the ones that feel what I'm saying. So I know I should sound down on people often. I just wanted you to know once I love, it's a forever thing, regardless of how you feel. Now I'm my mom's praying my mom's natural and other will become closer to God for themselves. Oh, and others. Yeah. Maybe with that, the Colleens, that's my maiden name, might be mine again. And this is the way, or this is why I try so hard. So other people can see the torn family and learn from my experiences. And then I put, please share so all my family can read. Thank you. So anyway, like I say that, and I do have two families. Well, blood. Well, three. My mother, my birth mother, my birth father, natural father, and then the adopted. So I have three sets of families. So anyway, that's what I mean, when he died, I was told he didn't want me there when he was sick at the end. I don't believe that. I just don't, because I spent hours with this person, fishing, hunting, swimming. He taught me how to ice skate and um, bought me skis, and I mean, so many. I could go on and on. It just paid for ballet lessons and tap and I mean jazz and different things. I mean, um, no, but they can say anything they want to say when somebody's on their deathbed and they can't see and they can't help themselves. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I still don't believe it. I think it was just one more stab. But they didn't contact me right away when they buried him. They waited. They did that with a friend of mine that I'm named after, my middle name, Susan. This lady I'm named after. She died early. That was heartbreaking too, but she had diabetes and went blind and yeah, had to have a baby taken out. It was either her or the baby, and she was diminishing anyway and wouldn't have been there, so her husband had to make that decision. He still never remarried. But when Susie died, they didn't let me know right away either. Like I was some second rate something something to her. No, she loved me. you know, I watched her get married and at her wedding and lifelong friends. She held me when I was a baby, and her little sister and I grew up together. So, yeah, no, it was just cruel, cruel, cold tactics to try and tear me apart like they do everybody that they encounter. Um, whatever suits them, whatever it takes to make their world go around, regardless of who it is, that's what they do. So I'm no longer worrying about people's souls like that. They gotta just walk their own path. I mean, yeah, you can try to explain to people things that they should just naturally know. But if you find yourself talking to the same people about the same topics constantly and they're still not getting it, oh, they get it and they're gonna get it too. Yeah, that's what's up with that. People are not that stupid. Yes, they're not witty, they're not inventive, they're like their conversation slag like into just how's the weather and just menial everyday topics. They don't dive deep, you know. So I've just decided I've been wasting decades trying to help people and crying over them, wondering how they could be so cold and so cruel and not hear um, the spirit in them. They're not. They're not listening to that spirit. you know. I may be working with the other one, but I'm not listening to it. He works for me. It's not the other way around. And that just if you think how good and bad are within yourself, then you can kind of see how um evil and good are a part of the same energy, just depending on what people call upon themselves. It's a reflection, you know, like I am to people, I know I am, but, and I get tortured for it too. It's like too bad, just too flippin' bad, you know. So anyway, this morning, and it was pretty early too. Doug says to me, and I had just been getting up, just kind of waking up, and he starts talking about timelines, asks me if I believe in time travel. Well, my thoughts on that are a little bit different, but I bit. It's like, I'm thinking I'll bite, you know. I said, yeah, I do. And then he starts talking that there is no yesterday, there's only today, and there is no tomorrow. And I said, yeah, and time's not real. It's quantum. And that's a little bit. Then he didn't want to hear that. So, and I'll give you my thoughts on that, and then I'll tell you what I told him. My thoughts on that are quantum entanglement. Entanglement isn't necessarily a set in stone type of scenario, because although energy never dissipates, it goes somewhere, doesn't necessarily have to stay with the soul. See, if you give away your energy to the wrong entity, that's where your energy goes. It's not quantum entanglement. It's bloodlust for the misdeeds and vampirism in its truest form that becomes holy because of the misdeeds of the dark ones that fall under that force out of greed. So there you go with that. So that's my thoughts on quantum physics for the moment. And so I told Doug, I said, no, I'm no longer buying into there wasn't a yesterday or tomorrow. Because, yeah, things are linear, no doubt. But I said, you're not going to trap me here and bind me here with your bullshit like you always have. Time's up. Time's up. It's all in the solar calendar. And the dark force, they know that anyway. So it's not like I was being silent or silenced or um, like they were doing something to me that they got away with or any of that type of thing. It's just that they had a choice to make and they made their choices. And now the outcome of what they've done to themselves is going to start getting really apparent. And, they can fight to the very end. It wouldn't be the smartest thing for them, but I'm not crying over it. This includes my kids. This includes everybody I know. I don't care. It's on you. You had your decisions to make, and even a 5-year-old, when you tell them no, knows that it's just one word and it doesn't need any other explanations with that. A baby knows that. So there's no excuses with these people that want to use even a supposed mental illness and try and paint it as something natural or normal on this planet. There's nothing normal about psychopaths and narcissism, borderline, and schizophrenia, these types of things, where the dark force gets in, and then they try and name it mental illness. You know, and I know that we've been offered those opportunities just like they took, and we decided not to do that for our integrity. And those are the warriors I want to connect with. I don't want to heal anybody. We'll heal each other just from being real like that, you know? Yep, so that's what's on my mind today. Not everything's as quantum as people think, and it's not tangled. It can be unraveled so easy it'd make your head spin. you know. But these people never give up with their stupid shit with me like that. Do you believe in timelines? It's like, why? Have you never seen my face before? Yeah, he's seen my face. What? moreover than the word before. It doesn't even describe the connection, you know. He just happens to be the one that's taking over the dark force because God's he's done with people big time. Now they get what they gave, and God's taken a sabbatical. He doesn't even have to teach people anything anymore. It's all in our DNA, and it's totally on us, not depending on somebody else like a blueprint or a map. None of us need that. I didn't need that. You didn't need that. The only thing we need is the Spirit of God's written on our hearts. That's walking with integrity and a conscience every second of your life. If people can't do that, the word is no. If they can't do that no thing and self examine, and it shouldn't take decades or even a day. The minute a person puts their mind to doing what's right and wanting people around them to do what's right, and we all know what that is, it's not harming others to get what we need. Once you make up your mind not to do that, yeah, the world's going to fight against you, but they're not strong like that. They don't understand what they're doing to themselves or what the solar calendar has in store for their energies. None of it, you know. But everybody has that opportunity um, of enlightenment without any guidance. It's in you. It's not coming from anybody else, and nobody else is showing you the way. I mean, I can tell you what I think, and it's a pretty educated outlook and a pretty long life experience that I can relate to everybody, and some really weird stuff that usually people don't go through, you know. But I can only tell you my experiences. Um, I'm not a blueprint or a pattern or a map. Everybody is, you know. Uh, If I were God's chosen, I'd just be here to talk to that part of Him in this environment. I wouldn't be singled out like somebody's favorite something. I'd just be His first connection of communicating with people, you know, or her, whatever you want to call that energy, you know, because it is a two thing. But yeah, they've never been biologically mixed, and you can't explain energy in biological terms. Nope, you can't. Uh, Matter is held together with energy. Anything on this planet cannot describe the energy that makes everything with words or examples or anything. There's no way you can describe God's energy, you know? And science, I do believe this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just like the head of a pin insight on knowledge of what we could even conceive as little offsprings of God. You know, I think we can't even scratch the surface. Look what what's made here for us, and yeah. So I don't know. Well, I am going to get this uploaded. Those are my thoughts on timelines and quantum realities and the dark and the light recognizing each other as part of the same energy and working together for the greatness of all humanity and not letting the ones that just play with the dark force get in our way, because then we got to go dark on them. And that's coming up anyway. So, okay, everybody, I appreciate you being here. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.